What up? What is up? Happy Friday, yo. Happy Friday. The weekend's finally here. I'm so stoked because it's finally here. Thank God it's finally here. But hey, okay. I have a lot of people, I run into a lot of people who, back on the topic of trials and tribulations and temptations and urges, that we seem like we can't get past. In order to identify the problem has to be identified. The enemy, you have to understand who the enemy is. So that's what I'm going to get at right here. Not only do we have to understand who the enemy is, we have to understand why this is happening in our life. Why am I going through this? I know it can be so hard. Like God, if you are so good, then why is this situation so hard? So hard right now. Well, I want to turn around that question to you. Are you still alive right now? Are you still handling this? Are you still getting through the day? I want us to understand why these things are happening. So that's going to be my second point of emphasis. So bear with me. Hold on 1 second. The last and final thing, the third thing to my bros and my friends out there is, what is the benefit to these things? If I'm going through these valleys, what is the benefit on the other side of the valley? It says through the valley of the shadow of death, it says through. You're not going to be stuck in there forever. It says through. There's the other side. You're going to get out of it eventually. Where does that take you? So that's my third emphasis that I'm about to get at. So back to square one. Who is the enemy? Where's this bad stuff coming from? Because it's not coming from God. Who is it coming from? Because God is good. Well, we're gonna get to that right here. I'm going to open up to Job chapter 1. And this is when Satan comes up to God. And God asks him, where have you been? And Satan answers the Lord, from roaming through the earth and going back and forth in it. God already knew where he's been. But the crazy thing, the underlying message here is even Satan obeys the answer to God. God's still in control. Okay? But where is Satan at? He's on earth. He's from roaming through the earth and going back and forth in it. The same thing still is today. That's why these bad things are happening. He's the enemy. He's going back and forth, to and fro, to each and every one of us, trying to knock us down. He's trying not to let us get through the valley of the shadow of death, to see what's on the other side. That's why it's so important for me and you to have faith in God. Now, let's get to the second question. Now we've identified who the enemy is, and we've called him out, and now we know where he's at, because there's been a lot of misconception lately of where he's at. Well, we know where he's at, and now we know what he's doing. But why is God allowing this to happen? Well, let's go back to Job. After Satan confronts the Lord says to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and an upright man, who fears God and shuns evil. And then this is Satan's reply. Does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? Have you blessed the work of his hands so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land? So basically and it goes on, and basically what Satan's saying is, his life is good. If his life gets bad, if you allow me just to do some things in his life, he won't give you praise anymore. He won't even acknowledge your name, God. Let these bad things happen. Let me do some things in his life. So the Lord put Job through a test. Well, basically, long story short, Satan goes to God, and Job would not blaspheme God's name. He would not stop giving God praise. Basically, he said here, the Lord has taken away. May the Lord give, and the Lord gives, and the Lord takes away. May the name of the Lord be praised. And this is after Job woke up naked. He didn't have no clothes. And then Satan begins to take all of his family away, and the Lord gave Satan one command: don't take his life. Do not take his life. Satan took everything away from Job. And he came to the point of his life where he didn't even want to live anymore. But he never stopped giving God praise. And that's the main emphasis here. Job, backstory on Job. Job had everything. Job had everything. I mean, Job had everything that a man could possibly want. He had land, he had a great household, a great family, a great wife. Man, like Job had the life. He has such a God-given gift life. And Satan took all that away from him to try to get him to turn his back on God. So now reapplying to this in our life, why do we go through these things? Why does God allow Satan to attack us? Maybe it's a test. Maybe God's testing us to see if we'll turn his back on him, or if we continue to give him praise. I mean, Job was down, like, we get depressed. I've been depressed in my life before. But Job was going through the ringer. I mean, Satan took away his family. Killed his family. Job, the only hope he had left was God. And this goes to my next point. Why does this happen? And where does it take us? Through the valley, where does it take us? Well, just like Job, if you continue believing and trusting in God, it takes you somewhere better. Something better has to happen. There's got to be a reason why this is happening. There's got to be a reason of why you're going through whatever you're going through in your life. You're struggling with lustful temptation. You're going through a trial or tribulation. Whatever it is, whatever your struggle is, I don't know. Yours may be different than mine. We all get attacked in different ways. But whatever it is, there has to be a reason of why you're going through this. And if you have faith through it, there has to be a reason of where you're going. And there has to be something ahead of you, that you can't see. That's where faith will take you. That's where faith will take you. It's a test. Through the midst of this, Job didn't lose his faith. He started looking down upon his life in pity, and he ended up repenting back to God. And in this midst of that moment, in that final season when Satan couldn't take anything else away but his life, and God told him that he couldn't, so he wouldn't let him. You know what God did? Because Job passed that test. Let's look at the end of Job. The Lord blessed the later part of Job's life more than the first. Do you know how blessed he was in the beginning? That's crazy if you knew how blessed Job was. He had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 donkeys. And he also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. And Job lived 140 years. And he saw his children and their children to the 4th generation. And he died full of years. At this point had more than he could ever ask for. More than ever ask for in his life. So who's attacking you? Unclean spirits? Dark principalities that aren't from God, that are from Satan? Satan himself? Why is God allowing this to happen? As a test? You've gotten through it so far. You're here watching this. Can you fight a little bit longer? Can you put that trust in God? Can you really do it? Can you really put your trust in the Lord who made heaven and earth? Do you have that type of faith? Have faith. Because no matter how hard God allows Satan to attack you, God won't let him do anything that you can't handle. Job was able to handle it. It was rough. It was tough. But he was able to handle it. You can handle it too. There's no doubt in my mind you can handle it. Trust in God. Because when that final season hits, and there's nothing more that the Satan can attack you on, you still have that faith and you're holding on to it. There's nothing more that he can do. And you're going to rise up and you're going to get something in your life that God has planned out for you that you've never seen before. And you're going to be so blessed, so blessed. You're going to be so full of righteousness, not because of you, but because of how great God is and how great his mercy and his love is for you, that you just simply kept believing in him, that you had your trust in him. No matter how dark your life has gotten, no matter how hard it seems to get, you still believed in him. And he loves that. He loves that you love him. He's going to turn that love back around on you and continuously love you forever and ever. And his love is not like any of the love of this world. It's out of this world. It'll blow your minds. There's comfort, there's peace, there's blessings beyond your wildest imaginations that are awaiting for you. Just for you. Just for you. With your name on. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep going. Don't give up. And don't lose faith in your Creator, your God. He's got your back. He won't allow anything happen to you that you can't handle. That should give you peace during these trials and tribulations. And the last thing I will say is, and don't be discouraged by this, but you're going to be attacked by Satan. He's going to come and try to do anything and everything he can to throw you off your feet, to throw you off your foundation, to get you away from your faith. He's going to do that because he doesn't want you to see these things that God has. Fight the good fight. Continue to go. And whatever Satan brings within his dark principalities, the demons, the unclean spirits, they're all real. You won't hear that anywhere else, but you'll hear it from me. I'm not going to sugarcoat the truth. They're all real, just like angels and God. Everything's real. Fight. Fight. Have faith. Your blessings are coming. Keep going. Love you. Stay up. God bless. Peace out, yo. Have a good weekend.